Before we begin, I wanted to save this video for posterity. We're on day 3 of the great Southeast Texas flood of 2024, and we're filming. Mother here. Today I'm going to look at how much fuel you should be storing as a prepper and how to store it. How long can you store 5 gallons of gasoline and or diesel, kerosene, or propane? In general, gasoline and diesel can be stored for 6 months to a year without significant degradation if they are stored in a clean, sealed, and dry container or tank away from sunlight, heat, and sources of ignition. Kerosene lasts much longer than gasoline. Here I have a 5-gallon can of kerosene for the Dietz lanterns. This is not the cleanest of burning fuel, but it will make light and keep the dark at bay. Kerosene goes bad over time. When stored properly, it has up to 5 years of shelf life. Date the can with a Sharpie when you get it. I also have some lamp oil for my lanterns. Lamp oil is the high dollar way to get light. Kerosene is much cheaper. Please note, you cannot and should not use lamp oil then kerosene in the same lamp or vice versa without first changing the wick and thoroughly cleaning the fuel tank of the lantern. Mark on the outside of the lantern which fuel is in use. How long will propane keep? The simple answer is propane can last for decades. As a matter of fact, it is one of the most storage-friendly, stable, and resilient energy sources around. With no expiration date, propane won't degrade or lose its potency over time. Myself, I store 400 gallons of propane in various tanks. I have my home propane system plumbed a bit differently than most. Here's a 250-gallon tank and a 100-gallon tank plumbed together. These hold 280 gallons of propane when capacity. I have a line which runs from my home to the tanks. I further have the same line split to run to a location to my dual fuel generator. Let's talk about smaller propane tanks. A 100-pound tank holds 23 gallons and weighs 170 pounds full. A hand cart is needed to move these around, so I have a good heavy-duty one. Store these tanks on concrete or use pavers to keep the metal tank off the ground. A 40-pound tank holds 9.4 gallons and weighs 72 pounds when full. A 30-pound tank holds 7 gallons and weighs 55 pounds when full. The popular 20-pound tank holds 4.6 gallons and weighs 37 pounds when full. And please, keep the outlet plastic cap in place. You'll thank me, or the mud daubers will thank you. I have 2 to 3 cords of split firewood on the property. Here in East Texas, we can warm our house during wintertime with 1 cord of wood. My recommendation is to have a minimum of 2 winters of split heating wood on hand. Of course, the farther north you are and the colder the winters are for you, the more firewood you're going to want to have split and ready to go. Further, you'll need a good chainsaw. My preference is this steel. I occasionally buy the non-ethanol gas from TSC to use, as it saves on having the carburetor gum up, resulting in the need for replacement or rebuilding. Of course, you'll also want to have the 2-stroke oil and the bar and chain oil. Lastly, I keep 60 gallons of gasoline on hand. This is rotated annually with the Stay-Bill additive. Which gasoline lasts longer? 93 octane fuels are more refined and contain more stable hydrocarbons. These stable hydrocarbons can last 2 to 3 times longer than 87 octane fuel. Even in proper storage, 87 octane gas can start to degrade in 3 months, while the 93 octane fuel should last closer to 9 months before degradation is noticeable. This 35-gallon tank is new to the homestead. Why did I go this route? If you're high mileage, you'll remember the Iranian Revolution in the winter of 1979. Within 12 months, the price per barrel of crude oil doubled. The price at the pump increased so much, we had incredibly long lines, if you can find an open gas station. On top of all that, the government implemented odd, even day rationing of gasoline per person. With Israel and Iran now trading missiles, I thought I might not want to be sitting in any fuel lines again, as I had done that, been there, wasting multiple hours of my life, yet getting through it. So, my recommendation is to keep enough gasoline on hand to fill your primary vehicle twice. You can start by just purchasing 5-gallon cans and then build up over time. Remember, you should be refilling your vehicle once it hits half a tank. Never let it go below half a tank. Make it a habit. So you know how long your vehicle can idle on a quarter tank, I did a video breaking down the math for you. This is important if it's hot outside and you're running the AC to keep cool, or in winter trying to keep warm in your vehicle while waiting in line to fill up. Just saying. Might be good to know this, don't you think? And if you don't know, hit that subscribe button and get with the program. Learning something from the high mileage folks while they're willing to teach you. Here's a big pro tip for you here, since you're still watching. Treat your stored gasoline with Sta-Bil or another fuel additive and rotate it at least annually. Without fuel stabilizer, gasoline evaporates and can leave behind a gummy varnish residue or dry particles. Either one can clog fuel filters, fuel pumps, injectors, and carbs. This condition can cause an engine to run poor, lean, and hot. Think about that emergency generator. A 35-gallon gas tank like this one needs about 15 ounces of stabilizer to keep it fresh for an entire year. Mark it on the tank, as I have here. Depending on the quality, type, and source of the petrol, as well as storage conditions, doubling the dosage rate of a stabilizer could prolong this storage time up to 2 years. Lord, I hope I never have to fall back on my preps, but I do know they allow me to sleep much better. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and join the H&P family as we navigate this journey. Thank you for watching and for your support. I've got miles to go before I sleep.